All right, everyone, today we are diving into a really crucial polycrest remedy, Aloe Socotrina, from the Liliaceae family. You absolutely need to know this one inside and out. It's a favorite for competitive exams like the AIAPGET, and honestly, its clinical picture is so clear and distinct, you'll see it in your practice. So let's get started. Here's how we're going to break it down. We'll kick things off with the patient's constitution, the type of person who needs aloe. Then we'll get into its action on headaches and the gut, which is huge. After that, we'll zero in on those critical rectal symptoms, look at its modalities and key remedy relationships, and then wrap up with some practice questions to make sure all this knowledge really sticks. First things first, let's get a clear picture of the person who typically needs aloe. The constitution is the foundation, right? It's the soil where all the other symptoms grow. So this is always where we should begin. Okay, let's look at the exact wording from Alan's Keynotes. He describes the patient as indolent, weary, and phlegmatic. I want you to pay really close attention to the specific language. These aren't just random adjectives. They are precise clinical indicators that should make you think of aloe. So let's unpack that a bit. Indolent, that means a deep-seated laziness, a real aversion to any kind of effort. Phlegmatic describes a sluggish, almost unmovable temperament. And look, this isn't just physical. Mental work is just as draining for them. The absolute key point here is that combination of extreme exhaustion, we're talking total prostration, with this dissatisfied, angry mental state about their own illness. It's a very specific picture. So now that we know the person, let's look at where aloe really likes to act in the body. Two areas just jump right out: the head and the mucous membranes. And here's a fantastic keynote symptom of aloe. It's the unique character of its mucus. It's not thin, it's not watery. Alan specifically describes it as jelly-like lumps. That is such a characteristic symptom, whether it's coming from the throat or, as we're about to see, very, very prominently from the rectum. And here it is, the classic aloe headache. The location is right across the forehead. The key aggravation is any kind of jarring or every footstep, which sounds a lot like belladonna or bryonia, right? But notice the unique connections here. It gets better from cold, it can actually alternate with lower back pain, and it often comes on after an incomplete bowel movement. So here we can see that whole picture laid out nice and clear. For your exams, you need to know this entire symptom complex: the location, the aggravations and ameliorations, and especially that unique feature, alternating with lumbago. That is a golden keynote, a real gem. Okay, now we are getting to the absolute heart of Aloe Socotrina. Seriously, if you remember only one thing about this remedy, it should be its action on the bowel. This is its grand sphere of influence, its main stage. This text is just packed with keynotes. First, the urgency is immediate, like right after eating or drinking. Second, and this is practically pathognomonic, there is a want of confidence in the sphincter ani. The patient is just never sure if they can trust a fart. And third, the timing. They're driven out of bed early in the morning, a classic feature it shares with another giant, Sulphur. And this just builds on that lack of confidence. The patient simply cannot trust themselves to pass gas alone. It's gotten so bad that even solid stool can pass involuntarily. It really highlights a profound weakness and lack of control over that rectal sphincter. And you have to notice this curious symptom. They actually feel hungry during the diarrhea. Strange, right? The sequence is absolutely vital for differentiating aloe from other remedies. The whole process starts with loud rumbling and this sudden violent urge. Then, during the stool, there's a lot of straining and gas. But the crucial point, the thing you have to remember, is what happens after. Complete and utter collapse. The patient is left feeling faint, they're sweating, and they are just completely wiped out. This prostration after stool is a hallmark of aloe. So it makes perfect sense that after discussing the diarrhea, we need to examine the specific state of the rectum and anus. And this leads us to the incredibly characteristic hemorrhoids of aloe. I need you to commit this image to your memory. Seriously, this is one of the most famous keynotes in our entire Materia Medica. Blue, like a bunch of grapes. That visual is so powerful and just unforgettable. And the sensations are just as important. Hot, sore, tender, with this intense itching. Now, the crucial differentiating point here is the modality. While the appearance might look similar to muriatic acid, the relief from cold water is distinctly aloe. That's the giveaway. And the pain, the burning, and the itching are so intense they can completely prevent the patient from getting any sleep. Okay, so let's start to put all of these pieces together. Understanding what makes the symptoms better or worse, the modalities, is absolutely key to prescribing accurately. We'll also take a quick look at how aloe relates to other major remedies.
This gives us a really clear contrast. You'll notice the aggravations: early morning, heat, and after eating, all things we've already talked about. And a sedentary life makes things worse, which points to that abdominal congestion. The ameliorations are just as clear. Cold applications bring immense relief, as does finally passing the stool and flatus, even though it leads to that terrible prostration.
And this leads us right to its most important relationship, the comparison to sulfur. Both of these remedies address a state of abdominal plethora, this feeling of fullness and congestion in the abdomen and the portal system. This shared characteristic is a really critical point for deeper prescribing. Now, to help you remember the absolute core features for your exams, here's a simple mnemonic. Just remember the name aloe. A is for after eating, L is for lack of confidence, O is for out of bed in the morning, and E is for exhaustion after stool. If you can remember those 4 points, you have truly grasped the essence of aloe's gastrointestinal sphere. All right, it's time to test your knowledge. Let's run through a couple of multiple choice questions based directly on the keynotes we have just covered. Ready? Okay, first question. We talked about how aloe's diarrhea drives the patient out of bed early in the morning. Which other major remedy, specifically mentioned in the text we covered, shares this exact characteristic? Take a second to think about it. Question 2 is all about that vivid keynote we discussed. According to Alan's keynotes, what is that classic, unforgettable description given for aloe's hemorrhoids? This one should be fresh in your mind. So let's review the answers. For Q1, the correct answer is C, sulphur, because it's listed right there in the text we read. And for Q2, the answer is, of course, C, blue, like a bunch of grapes, that unforgettable visual keynote. You see? This shows how incredibly important it is to know the original text precisely. And we'll end with this question for you to chew on. We know aloe's hemorrhoids look like muriatic acids, and its morning diarrhea is just like sulfurs. So based on everything we've covered, especially the modalities and all the other symptoms, how would you confidently tell them apart in a real clinical case? Ponder on that. Thanks so much for joining me today.